Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Thursday, December 8th. Can you believe it? It's like less than 3 weeks from the big day. If you celebrate that, if you don't, it's okay. My name is Zach. Tonight is Conversation with a Creator. It's where we get together some of my creative buddies, bring them on board. We talk about the creative process, the goods, the bads, and the uglies, all the good stuff. I grill them. I ask them all sorts of inappropriate questions, and we have fun with it. No, probably not. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you guys real quick before we get started, and this is a special one. This stream is being powered by StreamYard. Pretty simple to use. You pick a microphone, you pick a camera, and away you go. It's all web-based, nothing to download, nothing to install. Special side note. Ooh, little good pops there. A special side note. StreamYard and I, we just renewed our sponsorship deal into 2023. Thank you very much, StreamYard, for being a sponsor here, for powering the live streams. I appreciate you. I'm still waiting on a hoodie, and I'm still waiting on dark mode, but regardless, I still love you. So thank you very much to the team at StreamYard. It's amazing the strides and the features they've put in there, the trimming, the background music, all the good stuff, the team stuff you can do, all the great stuff. So if you guys are looking to stream, you want to make it simple, you want to multi-stream different platforms or anything, check them out, StreamYard.com. The link is down below. Thanks again to them for taking care of us. All right, people. Camera check. Everything's working. We got the Pixels on the deck. By the way, the OEM case, this is nice. This is nice for the Pixel 7 Pro. But we'll talk about Pixels later on. We're going to talk about Team Pixel and Pixel stuff. It'll be fun. People, these two gentlemen, this is funny because tonight I was only supposed to have one of these guys on and I messed up. By the way, when you change your phone, turn on the calendar sync so all your calendars show on your list there, because I didn't do this when I upgraded to the 7 Pro. But anyway, that's okay. It'll make it for a more boisterous conversation. It's all good. These two gentlemen here, I look up to them. They're friends of mine. I think they started at even lower sub counts than me back in the day. Have made tremendous strides. Have overcome tremendous adversity. On multiple different levels. Have awesome brand relationships and are definitely some of the coolest guys in tech. One of them I've always called the nicest guy in tech. And they are El Jefe Reviews and Trenton's Tech. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing well, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm just going to bring that music down. We'll bring it down real low. That we got the creative mix going on. Trent's feeling a little under the weather, everybody, so he will show up tonight as an icon.
Yeah.
More of an icon than usual.
But
You got yourself one of those. You got yourself one of those flu shots, didn't you?
I was required by my employment to get a flu shot, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, come back to work and sit inside of a server room full of AC."
Okay. Well, hopefully I don't feel the same way. Tonight I had the vid in one arm of my booster, and I had the regular flu in the other arm. I always get the regular flu one, so I guess we'll see what happens. I don't just have 5G tonight or 6G. I have 7G. We're good to go. So we're good to go, gentlemen. You're both creators. You're both people in the tech space. Jeff, you're on another level as well. You also help creators through your employer vidIQ, which is awesome. So we're definitely going to jump to that. Now it's a conversation, everybody. So if you have questions, whatever, throw them in the chat. We will definitely take your questions and whatnot. And I've got a couple of notes here, a couple of things to kind of touch base on. But wherever the conversation takes us, that's where we'll go. We'll try to keep it to an hour and a half tops. And we'll kind of go from there. But real quick, let's jump into the chat real quick. We got Genosis in the house. How you doing? We got Mitch in the house. How you doing? Familiar faces. Tech for your needs. How you doing? Tech Verve. How you doing? We got El Jefe. Oh, he's right there. He's also part of the show. Don Cove, one of our channel members. I'm going to give you one of these right here.
Yes, science.
No, not that one. This one right here.
All right.
Because we love you. We love our channel members. Thank you very much, sir. And we got the man about tech, Mr. Viper. He's still on the board.
Whoa! Oh my goodness.
He's been there forever, and he's there. He's right there. So appreciate you, everybody coming through tonight. I don't know how to put this. How we should do this. I don't know. We'll put you guys
like that this. Is fine, man. It'll be all right.
Okay, we'll just put it like that. It looks weird with the background. Anyway, I don't know where to start here tonight. Let's start with Jeff. I guess we'll kind of go ring around here. Jeff. You're the headphone guy. You're the earphone guy. I have purchased headphones and earbuds based on your recommendations. The very first pair I ever bought, I still use them to this day, are the Anchor Soundcore Space NC. Do you remember those? The gray ones there? They still work and they're still awesome to this day.
Nice.
Those are great headphones. Do you still have your pair, or do you keep them around?
Oh, I'm sure they're in a box somewhere. I'm sure they're in a box somewhere. But I can guarantee I have them.
Are you preparing that picture you do every year of your addiction, of like everything laid out kind of thing? I know you do that picture every year.
No, it's too much. I shared one on Reddit, and like stuff like that. But usually it's funny because at the same time people dig it and equally hate it. Mm-hmm. So, because people are like, oh my God, such a waste, and I'm like,
you're like,
sorry,
this stuff was sent to me, man.
Sorry to break it to you.
Your YouTube, I guess you want to call it YouTube career, if you will, creative career on YouTube started. You wanted to do PC upgrades or PC reviews or parts and stuff like that, correct? Like, inform us. Let us know how that, like, what it was and how it turned into what it is now.
Well, yeah, sort of, because that's kind of what inspired me to even kind of get started. I was watching a lot of the PC tech creators because that's really what I was into. Like, I'm still into it, not as hardcore as I was before, but that's what sort of inspired me to kind of want to get started. And I was trying to figure out how to even do that. And, a lot of the videos that I was watching was them doing, different product reviews and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, maybe I can get into something like that because I was already buying a bunch of crap anyway, so I might as well start reviewing it. Mm-hmm. But that was originally it. And then when I tried to make some videos around it, you start realizing, well, trying to reach out to companies and stuff like that, even back early on, not realizing how much I needed to learn, how I hadn't put in the work. I hadn't created anything. I hadn't done anything to even be able to give a company any kind of return on investment, which was really cool though. But it was actually a PR guy for one of the PC companies who had done an interview. And when I had reached out to him, he was actually pretty nice to me. And he was like, hey man, listen, I did an interview about what people want, and how they're willing to work with you and what you have to be able to provide on your end. He's like, but I suggest you check it out because he's like, I think you're reaching out to me at the level you are because you just don't know. And I don't want to be rude to you. I want you to learn. So he sent me this podcast episode and he had been interviewed on, and he really like broke down like influencer marketing from that side of it. And I was just like in a sense of like, if the company's going to give you something, what are they going to get in return? Right. And they have to like weigh that out. So it really opened my eyes to what I needed to do. And it was really like, I need to get to work and just start putting out videos and building up a portfolio and improving my stuff. So, but it also showed me that in PC, like to try to break into like the PC stuff, it wasn't going to happen without a major investment on my own end. And that's why I was like, you know what? I can't go that route. I still love the content, but I just can't go that route.
And given the cost of graphic cards and what's
Well,
happened
at the time,
last
it
2
wasn't
years.
as bad.
Yeah.
At the time, it wasn't so bad because we're talking like 2017, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, good. I mean, good thing that I didn't go that route. So
So you and I have known each other probably over 5 years now.
about something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. I don't have a lot of friends that are in that long. I don't know why. But anyway, Trent, and same sort of question. You've dived into a little bit of everything. I know that you've got like a separate Chromebook channel that you kind of dabbling in and whatnot, but you're mostly I would say in the mobile space. So Pixel, Samsung, iPhone, stuff like that. Was that always the direction you've always wanted your channel to go, or has it just been kind of a gradual process? Like, where did you kind of start your process from, your YouTube channel, if you will?
I started my channel doing Call of Duty videos.
Okay.
And when I say videos, I mean video, because I literally uploaded one and I didn't even edit it. And I had it upload. I'm like, yeah, upload my video. 5 views.
And it was like a
like,
gameplay video, or were you doing a separate
Yeah.
commentary on someone else?
No, it was so horrible. It was just gameplay, because I had went and got the Elgato H60, like the little round thing that you plug into your system. You plug the other end into the laptop.
Yeah, it's
and
a
I'm
good
like,
one.
oh,
Yeah. It's still around these days, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, I'm good at Call of Duty. I can do this too. Like, anybody can be a Call of Duty YouTuber. And I quickly found out that I was nowhere in the stratosphere of the level of talent and gaming. Like, people were getting like 40 kill streaks and dropping every single thing on you, and here I am. Oh, I killed 5 people. Yay.
I'll play Call of Duty. I'll land, and like 5 seconds later, you welcome to the gulag or whatever. It's over, man. Forget about Fortnite. That's what I play. I don't know why. I like the quests in Fortnite. That's my thing. Either one of you guys play Fortnite or no? Am I on my own?
I dabble in Fortnite.
You dabble in Fortnite? Do you guys remember when the Galaxy S9, I think it was the S9 series, they offered Fortnite for free for Galaxy players?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Technically, T got trolled to death.
Yeah. And they had like a skin for it and everything. I don't think I knew T back then, but it was one of my biggest videos I've ever done, and I just showed like how to download the game and everything. And let me tell you this, it's a lot more fun on the PlayStation 5 than it is on mobile. I don't know how people do the mobile gaming thing.
Yeah, no, man, I remember that from way back then too. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I literally took a screenshot. I don't know how many views that thing has, but I know it's one of my top videos. So speaking of like where you started and top videos and everything like that. Now, I'm going to start with Trent on this one because I don't think this is accurate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. I've got this queued up here, but I want to show you guys. Now, I'm pretty sure this is like this because I went all the way through. So right now, YouTube doesn't let you organize by like oldest or newest. You have to scroll all the way. So Trent, when you scroll all the way to the bottom of your public videos, you get this one with the awesome kissy face. Buy the Samsung S10e instead of S10 and S10 Plus. Tech rant. And I went to your oldest comment, which is from Adrienne here, and she's first. Now I'm gonna guess this is not your very first comment, correct?
No,
Ever.
it's not my very first comment. It's not my very first video.
No.
I did the YouTube sin of deleting a lot of my first videos, just out of shame, pure shame, and I kind of rebranded a little bit because, as most of you know, I used to fly off the handle like crazy.
No. Remember how tonight's tweet said about pouring gas on the fire? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Don't worry, we'll keep it PG-13. But Jeff, I did something. I went back to one of your oldest videos. I think the oldest video you have. This could be. I don't know if you have other ones.
That's the first video. I left that up on purpose.
Did you?
Yeah.
And your very first comment, and I think this is awesome, comes from your brother. Yep. Right there. DJ Audio 1. Which, by the way, if you guys don't follow him on the Twitch and everything, he does the streams over there. He's doing great stuff over there. You guys have it's a total creative outlet there. You guys just need a couple more, millennials, and you'll have like your classic California house full of creators and whatnot.
We don't like the young kids around here. So
let me ask you something. Do you still use this dash cam?
Yeah, that dash cam's still in my brother's car.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's been in there for 5 years.
I did one on an Anchor ROAV. It's on my channel still, and it's still in my Santa Fe, and it has a built-in battery, does awesome and everything like that. So
yeah, I need to actually upgrade the one that's in my car now. I've had it in there since 2019, and I need to upgrade that thing. It's been in there too long. I don't even remember how to pull the footage off of it if something happens. That's how long it's been. So.
That's awesome. So you still get the occasional comment from your hardcore audience. We're going to talk about the audience here. This one comes from John Stephen Reyes. The humble beginnings, and now look at you, Sir El Jefe. Now, and you find the content you... let me read this again. Now, and find the content that you really have a passion about. 5 years of work in progress, learning, improving, hard work, and everything paid off. Happy 5th anniversary here on YouTube.
Yeah, because we had talked about it. Like we did the anniversary stream in May, and that's when a lot of people started popping up watching it, or leaving comments. Usually it would be around that time when I would mention it and stuff, because we did like a reaction sort of kind of to it. But it's still cool. Like, you go back and watch some of this stuff, and mind you, it's kind of funny because it actually took 3 or 4 videos before I even showed my face on camera. So
yeah, I was gonna say, because I wwent through some of your older videos this week and everything, and I was like, okay, I think almost a lot of tech people almost start the same way, like we're kind of used to. I call it. I know there's other OGs that do it this way, but we'll call it the Flossie Carter angle. It's the camera down, focus on the product, and all you see are some hands. And hopefully, gentlemen, and I don't mean just you guys. I'm talking about all the gentlemen. Clean your nails and clip those suckers. Okay, let me tell you, because I've seen some nasty nails. Now, Jeff, you're zeroing in on 100,000 subscribers. When I met you, I want to say that you were under 1,000, maybe over 1,500, maybe 2,000. It was somewhere around there. It was under 5K. I know that. Your growth and everything. I was going to bring up Social Blade, but I don't really like the metrics on there because it can change from day to day, and and predictions and everything like that. But what would you say? I mean, this is such a general question, but what would you say to anybody that's looking to, whether they're getting into tech or they're reviewing cars or they're doing makeup or whatever, what would you say are your top 3 things that they should focus on for YouTube? And this could be anywhere from the technical side to the community side to mentality. What would you say those top 3 things that you just always keep going for yourself to make sure that, the content and the delivery and the value is there?
Usually, at least for myself, the things I try to focus on, like when it comes to like even planning out a video or planning out a live stream, for me, it's one and the same. So I treat videos and live streams the exact same way. Firstly, does anybody care? That's the video topic. Does anybody even care? If nobody cares, I'm not gonna go live, put it on a thumbnail, put it on a title. I'm not gonna do any of that. So people have to care about the topic that you're talking about. First and foremost. Secondly, one of the biggest things I try to tell people, especially when they're starting up, is to upgrade as you can, but don't feel like you have to have million subscriber YouTube channel video and audio quality when you first start out. So you just got to start where you can. If it's your phone, start there. Get yourself a lav mic for $20. Next thing, get yourself a small light. Next thing, just upgrade as you can. But don't let gear become a hindrance. Don't make that excuse, because that's what I did. I would have started my channel in 2015 or 2016 if I hadn't had that in my head. That I could have just started with a phone. And then I would say, last but not least, always put your viewers first. Always put them first. Think about how you can bring them value, how you can give them something first before you ask anything of them.
There's a good question here from Geonosis. Constant support in the community. This is actually a good follow-up. Jeff, how do you find out what people currently care about? So are you doing a Google search? Are you looking at trends? Or what are you doing? Is it through Twitter? Like what's your research process?
Well, multiple things. Usually I'm looking at what products are launching in the field that I'm in the niche that I'm in. Mm-hmm. So what kind of headphones are coming out? What kind of earbuds are coming out? So I'm looking at that first. And then second, what of those are the more popular brands? And then that's when I start getting into trend search, like started looking at which ones have more traffic behind them to start figuring out a priority list. So if, 2 products are going to launch at the same time or 3 products are going to launch at the same time, I'll look at which ones have the most traffic, the most, are trending the most, I guess you could say. And that's going to be the priority. Whichever's highest, that's going to be the first one. And then I'll prioritize them accordingly as it goes. But that's usually how I'll do it. I look at Reddit, I look at Google Trends, I look at YouTube itself sometimes to see kind of what's going on, especially if I don't have access to some of the products, and I'll look at what's going on YouTube as well. But usually that's just part of it. It's just research, just, keeping your ear to the street when it comes to this stuff, but also thankfully building up a network of people that if I'm not keeping up with it, they're helping me keep up with it, which is really nice. So.
Just through conversation, probably through Twitter and things like that, correct?
Yeah, in the comment section and stuff, people will leave me messages, like they'll send me DMs. There's a few guys who are really hardcore community members for my channel who are overseas. So they'll hear news in Asia before we hear news out here. So like even before it hits like tech websites and stuff. Or it'll hit tech websites that are in other languages, so we don't like see it here. So then they'll let me know, like they'll take screenshots and be like, hey, and they'll translate for me, like, hey, this is what this says and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'll get an idea of what's coming, so I can kind of put it on my calendar and keep an eye on it. So it helps.
That's a good idea. You probably have a lot of those sources kind of bookmarked and everything. I'm guessing, correct?
Somewhat, yeah. But they tend to change. And then also, I don't speak the language, and sometimes Google Auto Translate doesn't do a good job. So thankfully, they'll translate it for me so that it actually makes sense. Because I'll read it and I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
The language is off. Trent, what about you? Is there what would you say your top 3 things are that you try to be consistent with when it comes to your content before you go out there and deliver it to the world with YouTube? Did we put him to sleep? Uh-oh.
All right, there we go.
There he is.
All right. So the number one thing I try to do is be honest. Mm-hmm. However I feel about something is what I'm going to tell people. If I don't like something, I don't like it. If I don't understand something, I don't understand it. If I have full understanding of something, or if I see things from a different light that's not necessarily popular, I will still say it because I feel like there's value in hearing things from different point of views.
Like a strong opinion, you mean, right?
Yeah, I used to lean in with strong opinions until I realized how much of a headache that was. And I kind of figured out, and I'm like, okay, if you just have a conversation, like everyone else is sensationalized. Everyone else either loves it, everyone else either hates it. But if you're looking to buy something, or you just want to know about something, you're like, hey, I just want to talk to somebody. I don't need the fan service. I don't need the, I only use this. I just want to have a normal conversation. I'm the guy that has the normal conversation now.
So let me ask you, because that's kind of transitions to where you were and where you are now. So in the tweet tonight, I talked about having a conversation as creators, pouring gas on the fire, and that first comment. So that I'm referring to the old Trent, like you said, and those videos are, they're hidden or deleted, whatever, right? The sensationalism and whatnot. Do you think the audience in general, and I don't mean just the tech geeks and nerds like all of us here in the chat, and people are probably watching this later on, and the general, do you think there's a point that people are just getting tired of that and they just want, like you said, the conversation and the information straightforward?
There's a couple of layers to that. So I had people who were like, we want more profanity, we want more craziness. We want more off the wall stuff. And I was just about at my limit of what I'm willing to do and say on camera,
Mm-hmm.
and still thinking about, okay, let's say you do blow up and you got to go to a job interview. Now what? You know, like to a certain degree, I wasn't at that level of sustainable YouTube stuff. Like I still had to, present myself to other people and show that I could work and be friendly. And, how am I going to go into a customer service role in IT and I'm over
Yeah.
here cussing out people about their phones? So there was that angle. There was another angle where people are like, dude, I love your content. I love your honesty, but God, I cannot watch you around my kids. Like, I'm sorry. I just can't. If you could tone it down, that'd be great. And so my audience slowly started to split between people who wanted more with the profanity and the craziness, and then people that wanted more of a calm, straightforward type of explanation.
Would you guys agree that there's more loyalty from an audience perspective for people that want that calm, PG, or better type level of content than there is from the people that want the sensationalism? Because I find that there seems to be. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, the thing with the weird thing about the internet and trust is that if you're bashing products, you're automatically seen as the hero. And that to me is really, really twisted. And it's really, really weird. So I don't have a problem with people doing it. I get it. I just don't like the audience, the way that they respond to it. Because I know when I did it and people were like, oh man, thank you so much, this and that. I'm like, why don't you thank me when I'm telling you about something good?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why only when I say, hey, you know what, you shouldn't get this, all of a sudden everybody's super thankful. So it's just the way that internet reacts to that stuff. It's very, very weird, man. So I don't understand why, like, if you're saying something negative, it's 100% we trust you. But if you say something positive, then it's all suspicious. It's like, yeah, to me it's very weird, man. But I kind of get where you're coming from with that.
I think Painfully Honest Tech definitely went through something like that for a while, whereas if he wasn't doing the can you trust and it was more on a negative slope than positive, people weren't reacting or basically trusting what he was saying, which is, that's not, like you said, it's not necessarily true, right? Like that's not his experience with that product or that service or whatnot. Trent, you were going to say something in regards to all that.
So with my experience, what happened to me was I built up an audience that wanted to see me go in on products, go in on companies, go in on other YouTubers. And the problem with that was it was a fire that was fueled by gasoline. And so we all know what happens when you throw gasoline on the fire. It gets big, it gets wild, and gets crazy. However, it burns out quick. So I would make a video talking about somebody, and these wouldn't be things that I'm not grasping at straws. These are like kind of like legitimate frustrations, but amped up a little bit.
Mhm.
First day out the gate, views through the roof. YouTube's losing its mind with the analytics. Oh my goodness. This is before like the whole 1 out of 10 thing. It's just like, oh, your video's taking off. It's doing this, it's doing that. So great. And then day 2, instant drop.
Just
Like,
dropped right off. Yeah.
instant drop, instant loss of views because everybody who got their fix for the fire and for the drama, I was like, all right, well, we don't need to watch that again. We already watched it once, and when's the next video coming out? Where are you going to talk about that first? When are you going to talk about that? And I got to a point. Yeah.
No, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done there. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I got to a point to where I kind of was like, all right, I'm done. I've talked about everyone. I've talked about big creators. I've talked about small creators. I've talked about Apple. I've talked about Samsung. I've talked about processes. I've talked about products. And I am at the point where I just have nothing else left to say. And the minute I switched and was like, all right, well, let's see how the other side lives. Let's see what's the good, or let's see what's the middle. I lost most of my audience that I had built up in less than a month. And
Mm-hmm.
I had been doing this for like 2 years. I had went from 1,000 subs all the way up to almost 5,000. I was, for me, 1,000 views on the first day in a video was like amazing.
Yeah.
And I went from that to like getting 50 views in a day, and it was like a shock. And I was just like, uh, I want to quit. And then somebody told me, they were like, look, you made the bed for those type of people, so it's going to take a while for you to rebrand and dig your way out. But if you can, you'll be all right. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's just what I ended up doing.
Trent, your channel, you've it seems like to me this year, maybe starting late last year and obviously then this year, you've had some pretty awesome growth, because I know you were sitting around 4,000 or 5,000 for quite a bit. Is that correct? That goes back to, you said, kind of digging your way out of that hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like how you make your thumbnails just real simple. Now, is there a reason for that, or is it a strategy, or is it just, you found what works, or what is your kind of go-to for it?
I'm very limited on time. And my issue was I would spend more time on the thumbnail and not even be sure about it than I was on recording the video. Like, I would do Photoshop tutorials, look at this, look at that, yada, yada, whatever, whatever. And then it'd just be like, okay, I recorded this video because I'm tired because I spent 2 hours on this thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
And I would go back and watch it, and people would tell me, like, dude, it sounds like you're about to die. Like, all your energy's gone. You look miserable. You even said you were recording this at 4 a.m. in the morning. We can tell that you literally just rolled out of bed and recorded this video just because. We don't hate it, but it's not you. So I told myself, I'm like, okay, what's the quickest way I can make a thumbnail that's not the best, but it's not the worst either. So my format is take a screenshot of me, use Apple's background remover on my phone, upload that to Canva, find the background and find the product, and that's it. I make a thumbnail in 5 minutes or less.
That's good. Just keeping it simple, because I can tell that this one's like Lumifusion without even reading the title, because I recognize the logo. Same here with the Google Play, the Galaxy Store. You see the background on the phone here, hey Jeff, with one of your avatars there. That's a good looking one. I really dig the GTA boss look. I thought those came out really good. Same thing with you, Jeff. It's been really, I remember. So you went. I remember going back to. Oh, let me go to videos here. I remember going back to, like, your black and white phase. We'll call it the black and white phase. Do you know what I'm talking about? So if we go back far enough here, but there's definitely a consistency here. Big words, no more than 3, it seems like, and big product. Is that kind of the consistency you're going through here with Jeff?
Yeah. It's really, because and that's, the black and white was not even the first changes. That's probably the third.
Yeah.
And I'd say right now I'm probably on the 5th change to the thumbnails, and it's subtle for the most part. The black and white was probably the most striking difference, but it's just about changing it.
I liked it because when you searched and you went through, yours popped out because everybody else had these wild colors.
Yeah.
And here you are, black and white.
Yeah, it worked until it didn't.
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Oh, so you switched it up because it just stopped working.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's always, I'm always testing, and that's really what it comes down to. And usually the ones that end up being left alone are the ones that work. So, but thankfully my process for thumbnails is very simple. I don't Photoshop. I don't do any of that stuff. It's super shockingly simple. More than anything else, what takes me the longest with a thumbnail is the concept of the thumbnail. But once I know what I want it to look like, then after that, it's just variations of the thumbnail. So I still do 4 to 6 thumbnails for every single video, for every single stream, different variations of them to see what works, the text, the wording, the titling, the angle of the shot, indoor, outdoor, blue background, burgundy background, how I want to make it look. But once I have those down, then it's just about going with what I feel is the strongest one. But the overall concept is still the same. It's people are clicking for the product. So make it as least confusing as possible. Exactly what they're looking for. And then as soon as they get into the video, confirm it. Like, yay, you were looking for a review on, Techniques AZ60s. The first things I'm going to say in the video are, hey, you're in the right place. I'm going to drop a full review here. So,
okay. Is there a
simplify?
Is there a favorite font that you like using? Because
I don't know what the name of it is, but it's probably whatever I've been using lately. Not these here, but the stuff that's on. If you go to live, you'll see what the newest thumbnails are.
Are you using a specific app or program for your thumbnails?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm using the Pixel to take the picture, and then as far as adding text is just an app called Fonto. You can get it for free on iOS or Android.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I keep it simple, dude. Like for thumbnail wise, I keep it super, like even the last one where I have just a bunch of earbuds thrown out there, I went completely left field on that one. And that's the one that worked. So, cause the original thumbnail just didn't pop.
Yeah, no, your thumbnails have always jumped out at me. I know that you've always done multiples. I'm finally up to doing between 2 and 3. And I usually the first one I find works the best. And I've been doing the, I like to call it the John Rettinger change, which is he changes his thumbnails off about the 20 or 30 minute mark. If you have John Rettinger on notification, you'll see on Android what it looks like in your notification. But then when you go into your actual subscriptions, that thumbnail usually has changed 2 or 3 times. And I asked him, he's like, yeah, we do it about 20, 30 minutes. Just we look at metrics and everything like that. So
if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
But, we just did a session on this like 2 or 3 weeks ago where we were teaching our students like when to change and when to not change, what to look for and recognizing your own baselines. And, if it's working, don't touch it. If it's a 1 out of 10, leave it the hell alone.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to win harder than you're already winning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's let it ride. But if you notice that something's obviously wrong first and foremost, just to make it totally clear, if nobody gives a shit about the topic, nobody's going to watch. Nobody's going to click it anyway. It doesn't matter how beautiful your B-roll is, how amazing the thumbnail, how perfect your title. It doesn't matter. If nobody cares about the topic, nobody's going to click. So assuming that that's already in place, then that's when, your video's underperforming, maybe a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, whatever that might be. But you notice that it's underperforming after an hour. YouTube tells you, hey, here's the click-through rate, and it'll give you like a down arrow, or what your baseline is and it's below that. Then okay, maybe it's that thumbnail. Let me swap it out. And that's the beauty of real-time views. You can see if it's working. If it is, cool. And if it's not, you can either go back to your old one or try a third option. But it just depends, but if it's working well, I don't touch it. Like I said, the one that's on the latest stream from 2 weeks ago, the original one didn't work. And I swapped it out after 3 hours. And after that, it really picked up. So
I also noticed, Jeff, you don't do any shorts on your channel.
No.
Just don't want to, or just no interest, or just haven't worked for you in the past, or
no, I just haven't wanted to do it there. I've been putting them on Instagram and on TikTok, but aside from that, that's pretty much it. But I'm not really a shorts guy. I'm a little too verbose for all that. Yeah,
I've been playing around with shorts, like clips from these live streams, and they seem to be doing, pretty good, considering the channel size and the train wreck that's going on over here. But also on my Pixel channel, I find that anywhere, as long as it's the product, just like your thumbnails, and it's, you're just directed to the point, it takes off. But much like what Trent we were talking about before, it takes off because it hits that short shelf. It seems like if something hits that short shelf, it just blows up and then it's just done. I don't know.
That's the most common question that I get asked as a coach. Okay. Is why do my shorts take off? Or months ago, my shorts would ride for a while and then, they would taper off, and now they get hot for a couple hours and then they just totally die. And I'm like, well, so we had a YouTube engineer explain it to us, and it's because they are constantly modifying their algorithms. And the reason that they get a bunch of like thousands of views and they die is because the testing now happens a lot faster. So they test it against audiences a lot quicker. It'll get a bunch of views a lot quicker. But if they're not hitting certain thresholds of satisfaction, then they drop it. They move on to the next. There's so much inventory of shorts. Everyone and their mama and grandma are uploading shorts.
Yeah.
There's so much inventory that the testing happens quick. They move on to the next. If your stuff's not pulling in a ton of action and satisfaction metrics, move on to the next. And I tell people, don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Just you move on to the next short. Just keep going. So
no, I've found on my Pixel channel that if I do a quick thing like showing the Damascus case there from D-Brand, that took off. It was a 45-second thing. It had average retention of like 39 seconds, which was pretty good. I'm not sure what that percentage is. But again, as long as it's just the product, none of this, you know, and it's good to go. Whereas over here, if it's a bit of this and a bit of the product, pretty good to go. But again, it seems to be that 40-second kind of mark. But like you said, it's hitting that short shelf, and then you just got to quickly move on into the next thing, right? So, you know, I know that we both know JD Tech. He runs the channel Interstellar News. And he grew to 100,000. I'm not sure how quickly it was. It seems like it was 3 or 4 months. Yeah, matter of months. But they've done all shorts. So I guess to me, it seems like it depends on what does the channel do primarily. Is it long form? Is it this or that? Maybe you have some insight on that. But like
it just depends on what your goals are for the channel. But that Interstellar one started off as their on what do you call it? Snapchat, if I remember correctly. So it was on a different platform. They decided to bring it over. Which makes a lot of sense, but it really just depends on the goals of the content and what you're trying to do with it. So, but yeah, I mean, they're doing great. 100,000 subscribers is not nothing. It's a lot.
It is.
100,000 short subscribers, I would say, is a little bit different because monetization wise on YouTube, it's not going to be the same as 100,000 subscribers on a long form channel.
Yeah.
It's just not. AdSense wise, it's just not the same thing.
I don't know. I think the actual AdSense for shorts kicks in February, but there was also the shorts fund that was in for a while, depending on your viewership. So,
but think about it, like 2 million views. What the guy say? You got paid $8 for 2 million views.
That blows my mind.
It's bonkers. So yeah, it's one of those things where if you're not pulling in hundreds of millions or billions of views on shorts, you're not going to make too much money off of it. So your best bet is, if you're going to keep doing it, is to get brand deals and such. So
exactly. I know that the payout on TikTok is even worse.
Yeah.
For example, and Canadians don't even get that. We don't even get that here.
I'm not even tripping off monetizing on those platforms in a sense of like ad revenue. Like if it comes, cool, but I'm not counting on it. If anything, I'm just leveraging those platforms with brands as part of brand deals with them. Like, that's really it.
And building that rapport, the trust.
Yeah. I'm just monetizing it in a different way because I'm not worried about ad revenue like that.
Exactly. Trent and Jeff, I want to ask you guys both about these guys right here. Pixel, in particular, I want to ask you guys about Team Pixel. Just for clarification for other creators that are unfamiliar with it, how it works and whatnot. It's a little different for myself here in Canada. It seems like the Team Pixel, the Google _US account there on Twitter and things like that is, Jeff, you went to Camp Pixel recently up in New York there. Beautiful photos you guys took up there and everything like that. What can you both start with? We'll start with Trent here. What can you guys tell everybody what Team Pixel is and like how you're part of it, like what it is?
Well, Team Pixel, in my opinion, it's a response to the community of people that said, hey, there's only a handful of people who ever get products from companies. They are the gatekeepers. Companies aren't going to take a chance on someone else. There's no room for the little guy, and this, that, and the other. Team Pixel kind of came out with, we are going to put this phone in the hands of people that we think would give it a fair shot and have proven that they're just not here to burn a company. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, hey, we sent you the product. You burned us, and but you weren't planning on really doing anything with furthering the relationship, really do anything with giving it a fair shot. You just wanted a phone,
Mm-hmm.
and you wanted someone to send you the phone. And once you got it, you made a video, you trashed it because it was popular, or you made a video and then you just sold it, and you told everybody on Twitter that you sold it, and then you said, "Hey, give me another phone." So with Team Pixel, from what I've seen, most people are pretty fair and pretty balanced. Like they're not like, well, hey, since I got this phone, quote unquote, for free, um, there's nothing in it for me but to just get whatever views or whatever. It's not exactly like that. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
people are genuinely either fans of Pixel and are fans of Google.
Mm-hmm.
However, since the process, e- even I don't know the process. I've been on Team Pixel for since the Google Pixel 3A.
Yeah,
Okay.
since the
So
beginning.
Yeah.
yeah, so
The
I've
the the best analogy I ever heard was, in order to get on Team Pixel, it's kind of like Fight Club. You don't talk about it. So no, don't talk about Team Pixel, and you might get the email. Does that sound accurate?
no,
No.
what I
Okay.
no, because this is why
Okay.
there's a lot of transparency behind Google and what they tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not sending you the phone and expecting that you have X amount of subs. They're not sending you the phone and say you have to make X amount of videos. You have to convert so many people.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even saying that you can't talk bad about the phone. They're not saying that you can't uh, pick out flaws. All they're saying is give it a fair shot. We would rather have fair and accurate feedback than people that are just going to jump on the train, say it's the greatest thing ever,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we sell it to the public's like, well, we hate this.
Okay.
I can tell you
Okay.
how not to get on Team Pixel.
I think it's pretty
Do
obvious, but I mean, go on. Go on.
well, I have to say this because apparently being obvious is not obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Do not ever break an embargo with another company and expect to get picked up on Team Pixel.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I can 100% guarantee that that won't happen because they do not play around that. I've seen people, and I'm not saying like it was an accident, like you released the video at 9:59 and it was 10 o'clock. No, what I'm saying is um, somebody got the phone through FedEx,
Mm-hmm.
took it out the box, uploaded right away, wanted to beat everybody else to the punch, already agreed to the embargo. Hey, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
send me the phone. I'll follow the embargo. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
I get the phone, bam, open it up, throw out everything out there, talk about everything, talk about features that you agreed to not talk about. Like it's an agreement. Like some people look at it like, oh, well, they're just telling the truth. Like, no, you made an agreement. Like the agreement was you will get this phone for free. You won't spend a dime. You won't
Yeah.
pay for shipping. We won't even ask for the phone back. All that we ask is that you wait until this specified date
Mm-hmm.
for you to drop your content.
And
That to me,
there's also the addition of like some of the hashtags or tagging whatever on social media. Correct. That's basically all they ask, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and the hashtags, because this is another little known thing. I try to tell people this, but people don't listen. The hashtags, it's a FTC requirement.
Yeah.
So basically what happens is if a company sends you a phone or a product and is usually of a certain value or more, like we're talking like hundreds of dollars or more, um, most of the time companies have to, fill out a 1099 on that because that's considered, goods being traded. It's not money, but it's considered goods.
Mm-hmm.
Back when the S20 Ultra came out and I won that contest and I won the grand prize, Samsung sent me almost $3,000 worth of products between the S20, the Buds,
Wow.
and the Z Flip. I also received a tax form that said, "Hey, you have to claim this on your taxes because we're gonna tell the IRS like, hey, we gave you this, but you didn't pay taxes on it. Because even on
Interesting.
gifts in the U.S., if I were to, if I'm a company and I gift something to somebody, unless I pay the taxes on there, then you have to pay the taxes.
I
So like
forgot
if
the
you win a
gifting in
car, yeah,
Yeah, I forgot the
it's
gifting in the United States is different. Like, for example, if you win the lottery, it's something like 35% or something like that, right? So, here in Canada, it's a little bit different. I mean, I was told, tag. So I picked up the 7 Pro myself through my carrier. They sent me, Google Canada sent me the 7, the 6A, and the Buds Pro, which these are just amazing. And all they told me was tag Google Canada and made by Google, because it's a little bit different up here. So that kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, which is it seems like the Team Pixel thing, it seems to be almost like a UK USA type thing. Jeff, do you have anything else? It seems like you obviously you and Trent are on the same road here. Is there anything else in addition in terms of creators getting on board, or things that you see people shouldn't be doing, or anything in addition you want to maybe highlight or just kind of make aware of that with that? Because it seems like Team Pixel seems to be one of these silent, nobody really talks about, but then all of a sudden everybody talks about it every few months or something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, anytime a Pixel phone launches, people get either really happy or really get their panties in a bunch, one or the other, for lack of a better word. And that's one of the things where, another way to not get picked for it is to talk about how people don't deserve to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just that all that is your jealousy showing. And it really sucks. I hate to see it. Hate to see that, but that's one of those ways. And one of the things that I want to make very clear, and I think Trenton already has made it very clear, is the fact that they don't, aside from using the hashtags, they don't put any obligations on us.
Yeah.
So to be fair, if you want to take a look, I've gotten every single Pixel device since the Pixel 3a. The Pixel 3a was the only of those devices that I ever made a review video about. So
Yeah, 'cause your primary headphones. Yeah.
yeah, so it's just not in my niche. I did videos on the Pixel Buds Pro, and included the A series in my top 5 videos. But primarily I'm using them for all my social media stuff, and I used a Pixel camera for all my thumbnails going back to the Pixel 3a. So, but just to make that clear, because people think, oh yeah, you have to make these videos and you have to do that. No, the hell you don't. No, the hell you don't. You just have to honor your agreement. You just have to be a man of your word or a woman of your word. Yeah. If you agree to something, then that's your word, man. So, and that's why I totally agree with Trent on that, is that, you break an embargo with another company, it ain't going to happen. But not only that, it probably won't happen with many other companies because they are watching.
Yeah.
So if you're out here operating, and you're making moves and stuff and making the wrong ones, then don't be surprised when people don't want to talk to you. Yeah. Don't be surprised by that. Just get used to it and start getting ready to pay for everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you when it comes to I guess like that kind of goes into the last thing I want to talk to you guys about, brand relationships. I see a lot of upcoming creators. I think we've seen this. I think we might all be guilty of this as well, of constantly tagging, constantly tweeting at a company, trying to get their attention that way. And sometimes that works, whether you're casually tagging here and there, or talking about maybe something of theirs they bought, or of something of theirs that you bought, or maybe you're gifted from somebody else or whatnot. Jeff, what would you say are your best practices when it comes to building a relationship with a company? So let's say there's this headphone company that you absolutely love. You've purchased their stuff before, one or two things, other things, but you want to go to the next level and do additional reviews, have access to product in advance or whatnot. What would you say are some of the best practices or things that you would do in order to advance things?
I wouldn't just tag them asking them for the thing. What I would do would be showing them through the work why it's beneficial for them to want to work with me. So basically, you want to act like an ambassador before you become an ambassador for that brand. So you're already proving your value before you ever even cold email them. Like, now, mind you, you can cold email them. Like, you can totally do that completely. So there's no issue with that. but you want to make sure that by the time that you guys do talk to each other, your value's already established. They already know where you're coming from. So if you ask for money, that it's coming from a place where you can back that up. Like, it's like, oh, well, if I've never done a video about your product and I've never spoken about it, I've never used it, but the first time that we talk, I'm asking you for 5 figures. You know what I mean? I have nothing to show you of why I'm worth that. Yeah, I've done a bunch of videos for other companies, and that's not, that's something, but I haven't talked about your brand. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things where acting like an ambassador before you are is a major step forward. And like I said, I don't mean just tagging them, but like when you make content about their stuff, definitely show it off, tag them in it, whatever it is. Whenever I make a video about whatever brand, I'm not required to tag them on Twitter. I do it anyway. Same thing on Facebook, same thing on Instagram. I do it anyway because I want to make sure that they're aware, hey, there's a guy named El Jefe that has been reviewing our stuff, whether positively or negatively. I want their social media manager to know who I am so that if they ever have a campaign coming up when a new product is going to launch and they have that meeting of like, hey, who are the influencers in the space that have been talking about our products, my name should come up. My name should be at the top of that list. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the reasons where I always tell people, like, act like an ambassador before you are an ambassador is really what it comes down to, especially if it's stuff that you actually like.
Yeah. No, that's good advice. You want to make sure you're getting the attention, I guess, without harassing, I guess, in a way, or just being too overbearing, correct?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And then also that goes both ways, because if they're watching you doing this stuff, but if you're also out there bashing brands, trying to give a bunch of hot takes, doing a lot of that sort of stuff as well, they're watching that stuff too. Mm-hmm. And I'm not telling you not to do it. Everybody can operate how they want to operate. But if you want it to become a business, you have to treat it like a business.
Trent, do you have a process that you like to go through when you find a new brand or maybe something you've touched on before and you want to work closer with them? Do you directly email? Do you tag them? Do you do a bit of both? Is there an ABCD kind of thing that you kind of go to, or what's your process?
I currently don't have a process because I don't have enough confidence in my consistency and my ability to provide value to a brand in order to start a long-term relationship with them. So currently, pretty much everything is either something I started in the past and then the brand kind of just, they just rocked out with me. Like when Google Pixel came up, I was just like, I don't even feel like I'm worthy of this. And then somebody was just like, just calm down, just go with it or whatever. But at the same time, they're like, if you're going to go hit up other companies, you got to be ready if they ask questions. And I'm just not there yet. Like,
yeah,
I'm not.
So do you know when you're going to be there, or do you have a plan in place, or like in terms of your growth as a creator? Because I think there might be plenty of smaller creators that might be in the same boat as yourself that go, oh, well, I'm not good enough to reach out to her. But when do you think that you'll be back there or get there again? Is it a sub number, or is it a consistency thing, or like what are you looking to do for yourself?
My current goal is consistency. So I want to be able to say that I've been able to pull out of videos or a video at least 5 to 8 weeks straight in a row. Like I want to have that consistency of like, hey, if you guys take a chance on me, I'm going to deliver. I've had a lot of personal things come up. Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of self-inflicted wounds that I've done to myself to where I've stepped away from uploading constantly because I just felt like I wasn't delivering. And the other thing is I'm trying to set myself up to pivot because I got into a lot of debt with phones and lines and making payments and all that stuff. And just digging myself deeper and deeper to where I couldn't make a move. So, like I've talked about this before, I've thought about doing headphones. I couldn't afford to get AirPods. And that's like something that people are always going to ask about, but I couldn't get it because I had all this money tied up and all this other stuff that had come and gone. Like I still had a payment on a OnePlus 9. No one cares about a OnePlus 9 phone right now. Still had payments on that up until 2 months ago. So I'm like, I have to get my life straight, and I have to be in order to where I can take a chance with a company and then deliver. And I'm not sitting here like, man, I got this payment on this phone I got to make every month. I got to get views. This video has to take off.
Yeah.
I have to succeed because I'm in debt because I bought this and now I'm leaning on it. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, where it's like I finally got my head back above water.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna chill until the new year, and then in January I'm just gonna try and pick it back up and go from there.
Either you plan on going to CES. I think you guys are both a no this year again, right?
No, I'll be there.
You're
I
gonna be there,
had to
Jeff?
pull out.
Okay, where are you staying? Where you, so Trent, you're not going, but Jeff, I think you're staying at the Luxor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Are you going for the full week or just for a couple days?
I think, if I remember correctly, I have to look at the calendar. I'm either coming in on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I'm leaving Monday because I was trying to find the lowest price on the. Well, if I would flying out Monday saves me almost $300 on a flight.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me just do that. So, but yeah. I mean, I'll be out there for the most part. I mean, pretty close to finalizing with one sponsor to cover some of the fees and stuff. So it'll be cool. But aside from that, I mean, I'm excited to go. It's more networking than anything else. I don't have any obligations, which is nice. So yeah, just, meet the brands and do that stuff and try to have as good of a time as I can while I'm there. But, keeping it safe.
Put $10 on black.
I got you.
All right. So I did have, I think that's pretty much all I had to kind of like to go through, our show notes here and whatnot. Maybe we'll just kind of wrap things up here with, we'll start with Trent. Do you have anything you're working on that's coming down the line here? Anything that you plan on publishing here anytime soon on YouTube?
I am going to do my first review of the AirPods Pro 2 second generation. So I just got those in today, and I
Nice.
actually I bought them from another creator, so I was actually able to get them a little bit cheaper than having to pay the full kit and caboodle. So
Nice.
I'm gonna do something different where I actually use the product for a whole week. I'm gonna skip all the first impressions. I'm just put the things in my ear, use them. I'm using them right now.
Yeah.
Get familiar with it, and just try and provide a very straightforward,
They sound good.
not so much autofile type of, review.
If you need to use a clip from this for audio purposes, I mean, they sound good. So go ahead.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, man, that's your best bet, dude. Because the audiophile stuff has been done to death. But what should be done is how it fits into your lifestyle. So, and that's the smart move, especially at the point where you're at unboxing and first impressions. That shit has been done to death when those things launched. So you're taking the right approach on that.
And that was kind of my, before I go to do to you, Jeff, like when I went back to Google and I said, hey, can you send me out these? They just asked me, what kind of ideas you have, and I told them, I've got some lifestyle ideas. I want to hand these two phones to my kids and my wife and see what they do compared to this. I want to just kind of do kind of like the day in the life, but just no tripods, no, just like can my wife pick up the 7 and take the same kind of photo or the quality you would expect from the Pro, or vice versa, or even with the 6A and whatnot. So they jive with that, and I think that everyday kind of thing works. But going back to what Trent was saying, like the whole unboxing thing has been done to death and everything like that. I think unless it's like release day and you have those videos for the unboxings, first impression, I think you just kind of need to get out of that mold and move on. Jeff, what do you have coming up and working on? Are you still doing the weekly live streams on Sundays? I think you are, right?
Yeah, I skipped this past Sunday. I just wasn't feeling very good, so I ended up skipping it. And then just this week has been crazy busy, but I do have a game plan for this Sunday, so we got something else coming up for that. Probably going to do similar to what I did the last time, where it's going to be like my top picks, but I'm going to keep it budget friendly. So
Okay.
I'm going to keep all the products under $100 and just kind of break these categories down. Not that I didn't include some budget options in my last one. I did, totally did. But you know, people hear the best and it's $300. They start to lose their minds.
Yeah.
So I got to do something for all the budget minded people. So
I want to ask you about this real quick before we wrap things up. So these are the Buds Pro, and I have the Buds A series. Now, I keep my nails clean and trim, like because I know I'm on camera. Does anybody else have an issue taking these Buds out with short nails? Because now of course it comes out now, but earlier today I could not get these out. I could not pick them up. Have you ever encountered that, or am I just mental?
No, I've had them slip out of my fingers when I've tried to
Okay.
pull them out and stuff. So yeah, no, it's not just you.
Okay.
So yeah, for these, for whatever reason, it's the shape, maybe it's the texture. I didn't have that much of a problem with the Pixel Buds A series as I do with the Pixel Buds Pro.
Well, they have that little hook on them, right? So
yeah.
it's a little bit easier to kind of pick out. I noticed that.
But yeah, when I go to pull them out, sometimes they'll slip out of my fingers, but no biggie. But I'm looking forward to the spatial audio those have coming though.
Yes, I would. So I got it. I feel bad about this, and this is my own fault. So there was the Pixel update for like all Pixels, basically 4A and up, that came out this week. And by the way, if you have a Pixel 7 or 7 Pro, I think it's just the 7 Pro, there was an additional camera update that came out today. But yeah, the spatial audio looks like a lot of fun. But I got to tell you, the transparency mode on here is probably some of the best I've ever experienced. Now, I haven't tried as many headphones as you, Jeff, but these are legit. Let me tell you, if I can fall asleep and wake up the next day, and for the first 20 minutes of my day, I forget that these are in my ear, that's pretty damn good. Like seriously, I got up, washed my face, went and got a coffee. I'm like, why does everything sound so weird? And then your daughter says to you, Dad, you still have your earbuds in your ear.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Like they're comfy. These are super comfy. So
yeah, no, they're really good, man.
gentlemen, I really appreciate you guys making the time, popping by tonight, and talking about all things creative and going in and whatnot and everything. I've always looked up to both you guys. I've always enjoyed our offline conversations as well as our online conversations. So thank you very much, both of you.
Of course.
Anyway,
man.
and everybody else, next live stream, I'm gunning for Sunday. This whole week's been a write-off. It's hard to explain, but the personal life and being a dad comes first. And then everything else. And it's not that I don't love you. It's just that I'm tired. I'm tired at 11 o'clock. I'm old and I need to go to bed. So, yeah, I definitely envy people like Jeff who just keep on pumping out the quality stuff. And I'm hoping to find that balance. So anyway, yeah, budget for life. Yeah, a budget headphone list would be really good. I think would be really good. All right, Jeff's HD 800 review. You go.
Oh, yeah. I don't know when that's going to happen because I rarely ever do. I have way more audiophile headphones than people realize.
Yeah.
And I don't put them on the channel because why? It doesn't pass rule number 1. Does anyone care? And because that subset of people that do care, like Genosis and stuff that do, that's why mostly when people ask me about that stuff, I'll just tell them, but I won't make a whole video about it.
Yeah.
Because they're not coming to me for that. You know what I mean? So
speaking of Geonosis, he had a really good tweet the other day. We went back and forth about this. This is something I've started diving into. So we know that the 7 series has, you could pick between JPEG and RAW, or your just RAW kind of photos when you're taking your photos and everything. And so I've started diving into taking more RAW photos with my Pro, and I'm trying out the 3 different apps right now in terms of editing, and I want to make a simplified, here you can still take your great photo and still make it look awesome with this simple app and everything. But the thing is, then I start crossing into that territory of, like you said, does everybody care, or is it going to be like super niched down, right? So, but it's been fun. It's been fun to realize the power of RAW. So let me tell you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, man. We always have to remember, and this is for everybody who does YouTube, is at least most of the people that I've worked with or whose analytics I've looked at, or for a lot of the students that I have, most of our views are coming from new people, not our subscribers. So this is why most of the time, we're making videos with that kind of mindset of is anybody care? Because just because your subscribers care doesn't mean that 80% of the other people or 90% of the other people will. So that's one of the reasons why I have that filter in place.
It was interesting when I was doing, going back to last October, so over a year ago, when I was doing a lot of the fingerprint updates or monthly updates on the Pixel 6 Pro, the majority of my views or comments that I saw were all people that, oh, I didn't know that's how you update it. Oh, how come I don't have the update? I'm in Australia. Oh, I have the update. I'm the UK. Okay, now I have the update. I'm in Eastern Canada. I'm in Western Canada, right? So it's been interesting to see the audience that kind of gravitates and everything. You got, like you said, you got to keep that in mind, right? You can't keep on talking to the group that keeps on coming out. You definitely want to cater to your existing, because that's how you trigger that.
Oh yeah, no, you
right?
maintain that relationship still, but you have to make sure that the content itself is structured to attract new people. Because if all you're doing is addressing your current subscriber base, you can't get mad if your channel doesn't grow.
Yep, exactly. Gentlemen, again, I appreciate your time, everybody. Hopefully, I'll see you back on Sunday. Stay tuned to the Twitter and the community tab. I'll let you guys know for sure. I have a Discord. If you wanna get silly in there, like PG silly, it's fine. Whatever. Let me know. I haven't outright advertised and everything like that. And I don't know if John Prosser's coming back to Twitter. He's really gone in on his Discord and everything like that. It's been fun over there with the FPT stuff. But anyway, people. Jeff, Trent, appreciate your time again. We're gonna run the outro here, and I'll catch you guys. Later. Take care. Cheers.